Hey everybody, I'm on my way to my lawyers to drop off these recordings and the ex partes and paperwork and such like that. It's a new lawyer. But I just wanted to jump on here for a minute because as you know, I've been going through these recordings trying to get, I'm calling it evidence, better evidence or proof, whatever, that things aren't the way that they're said they are. And I've talked enough about that for now, but I want to mention that how in going through all that and hearing myself, I realized that a lot of the time, most of the times when I started the recordings, it was after she'd already instigated something. And she was aware that I was recording, and I know this. And she would then put on this facade of trying, I guess you want to say. And I would just be this total jerk in a lot of them. And it just makes me wonder if anyone else out there ever feels like maybe it was me, because it's kind of what it feels like. It feels like maybe I was the one doing it, because I know when I was in those moments, that's one reason I started recording, is because I couldn't remember everything. It was just a constant struggle to keep up with what she was spitting at me and answer questions and explain things to her and jump from one thing to another, and it was just constantly hard to keep up. And I just feel like maybe I could have done more. Maybe she wasn't that bad. I mean, that's just how I'm feeling right now. I don't know. I don't believe that though, and that I don't know. I know what I lived through. I know what I went through. And it's a very odd and strange thing to sit here and question yourself like that when you know what happened. But then there's that thing in the back of your head that says, you know, maybe she was right. Maybe it was me. Maybe I was the one doing it. And then you get that going, well, then I really screwed up again. I walked away from my family. I should have done more. I should have done a lot more. I don't know. It's just a really confusing time for me right now. It seems like everything's just stacked against me, and maybe that's for a reason. Maybe I deserve all this. My ex-lawyer told me to look at the recordings from a different perspective, you know, like I'm on the outside. Well, when I do that, I see only me screwing up. And that's what's getting me is, man, I don't know. I did a recording last night because I was really upset over, I texted one of my stepsons. I found out from the attorneys that I could do that now, and the reply I got back was very hurtful. But I may end up posting it, but man, it hit me hard, and I was low. And does anybody else know that is it normal to wake up every morning with them people on your mind? Not my children, but just, I don't know, I wake up every morning with a sense of dread, like I did when I lived there. And just thinking about her and thinking about what she's doing now and what is she up to now? How am I going to handle this? And I mean, just as soon as I don't know, it wakes me up. I'm just wondering if anybody else out there does that. I'm going to hit up Facebook groups and ask them too, because I don't know. This is just where I'm at. I've got counseling at the end of the week, but this roller coaster ride of being happy to be free than regretting ever leaving is just really hard. And if anybody else out there has been through this, I would really appreciate if you could just like this or something to let me know that, hey, you're not the only one dealing with that. But I don't know really how to put into words how I feel right now, but this morning I was running around anxious. I've been trying to work on these recordings so much, and there's just so much content to them, and trying to find ones that people could actually hear and see what she was really like when she knew she wasn't being recorded was really hard. I've got some, but my whole thing, and this is what I'm hoping this attorney can answer me, is I had sole custody of it just because she went in there and said something that is unfounded. She got what she wanted, but that's been talked about. I just want to start moving on with my life and start rebuilding it, and it seems like I can't get past this hurdle of whatever this emotion is inside of me. I don't understand it. I don't know. I read the book Psychopath Free, and I'm going to go back and I'm going to reread it, because I know when I did read it, it did help me. It helped me find some closure in a way. I mean, it helped me to see some things and feel like I was not wrong. But right now, that's all I feel. I just feel like it's just been a complete screw up, and that's all I've been. But in all the recordings that I have where we're fighting, I'm just asking her to listen to me and let me talk about my emotions and stuff like that. And she just goes off with this sweet, nice thing, you know, and I know that's not how it was when I wasn't recording. I think I got one or two where she was actually being herself when I was not recording, and it wasn't like that. But if anybody else does do audio recordings, be careful and try to be really wise about how you interact with them, because she knew exactly what buttons to push. And after 14 years, she worked me like a master. I mean, just like a master. I mean, she just I can't say she took away my self-control with my emotions, but I can almost say she reprogrammed them. It was a chess game that she won, is what it feels like. I've got recordings of where I'm just sitting around, you know, just hanging with my kids, you know, and talking to them and all that. And that won't do a bit of good, because they're going to go, oh, well, you just picked and choose when you wanted to record, and, you know, okay. And everybody keeps telling me that she's eventually going to self-destruct and all that. I know she will. But how long is that going to take, and what's it going to take to get, or what damage is going to be done to them children and my son by then? That's what's screwed up about it. That's why I went to the DFS office and said, you know what, this is the situation. My daughter that did come with me, she went in there and she told them the truth, separate from me. And I was like, if you'll at least take him into custody just until court. That was 2 weeks, just 2 weeks, just 2 weeks. I would be willing to supervise visits. You know, what's wrong with that? But for 2 weeks, I haven't seen him in almost 3 now, but she had him for 2 weeks, pumping his head full of stuff. His older brother and his sister, they're my ex's flying monkeys. And I've seen them bully them and harass him. And that was one of the things I did find on the recording, where my oldest daughter was talking about knocking the crap out of him because he didn't do something she liked. But they're talking about how violent I am. And I got another one where she was talking about throwing knives at her sister. And I was like, what in the world are you doing that for? And she was like, ha 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 ha, it's so funny. And I'm like, oh my God, what's wrong with her? But that's where I'm thinking she's picked up on this other stuff. She's just become like my ex. I don't know. But there's so many fights there, and some of them are like 3-4 hours long, stretch, and that's a single recording. And a lot of them are stretched over multiple days. I mean, that's what she did. She would just wear me down. That's what I'm saying. I know how things went, but inside here, I don't know. I know they say it's cognitive dissonance or something, but how can you fix it? I guess I'm going to have to look at it, maybe watch some videos on it or something, because I've got to get this figured out. It's like she's still got her hand in my head doing whatever, like she's working me like a puppeteer. But I don't know. That's just kind of where I'm at. I'm really mixed up, really confused. My emotions are all over the board, mainly in the negative ones. I'm trying to be positive. I'm trying to keep my faith, and it's just really hard. I pray and pray and pray and pray. And, there for a while, I got into a lot of other stuff besides Christianity. And I don't know. I think that may be one reason why God's mad at me. I kind of feel like this is my punishment. I feel like the reason I was punished in this relationship is because of the way I did in my last one with my ex-wife. I was a piece of shit, man. I cheated on her all the time. I was a 20-year-old punk that just had nothing to do but drink and whore around. I was a despicable person. And I feel like, I'm not saying she was perfect. I can't put anything off on her. I'm just talking about me. But I was horrible. And that's how I ended up with this one. And I feel like that was kind of the punishment for it, And one thing that stuck in my head over all these years, and at one point she even laughed at me about it, is I told my ex, because I think I knew something was going on right away, and I was like, because she really pushed for marriage. I mean, we were married before a year was up once we found each other. And I was like, this isn't going to last 6 months. And I think that was kind of me telling myself, dude, there's something not right here. But I don't know. I feel better when I get on here and talk. I don't know what it is about it. I know my thoughts are scattered out, and they're just, I don't know. They're, I guess, really disjointed, I guess. I don't know. There was a lot of times in those videos where she kept telling me how much of a god I thought I was. And I don't even know where she would get stuff like that, but I guess because she knows it really bothered me, because I'm not trying to say I'm a super humble guy, but I tried to humble myself for her, and I think that's another reason God's pissed at me, is because I just put her before him. I did. I quit going to church because she started spreading rumors around there, and I just got pushed away. So I was like, what, piss on it. I did. I put God on the back burner, and I just completely forgot about him. I agree. I deserve to be punished like this, I suppose, but I just don't know how long it's going to last. And honestly, I don't know if it keeps up like this, if I can endure, because that's just the way I feel right now. I just feel like, man, if I was going to be like this, I could have just stayed and not had this extra pain. And I had this extra worries and not all this extra stuff. And at least I would have been there with my kids, and at least I could have kept trying or something. I don't know. Maybe eventually she could have seen something, but I don't believe that. But it's just the way I feel. But if you don't mind, guys, it just, like, if you know what I'm talking about, or if you've been there or something, or comment. But I would appreciate it if y'all shared these around or anything like that, because it does help me, because it lets people contact me, and in a way it helps me a lot, because I feel like maybe I'm helping someone else. Maybe I'm showing them what what to prepare for. I don't know. I know if I'd have seen videos like this, and I watched a lot of narcissist videos and psychopath videos and stuff like that, but they were more done by professionals and not really a day-to-day thing of how it feels. And I'm not saying that mine is going to be a cookie-cutter copy for everybody, but it's just, I don't know, maybe they can help somebody, but I appreciate it.